This show is sponsored by Alicia's Pillows and Things. Check out the Facebook page, Alicia's Pillows and Things, where you will find home decor you will not be able to resist at prices anybody can afford. Check out the pillows and stools of your favorite sports teams. Maybe you want a set of your kid's favorite cartoon or movie character. You can also get full body and neck pillows as well. Log on to ngscsports.com and go to the Alicia's Pillows and Things tab on the homepage to complete your order. It makes a great gift for Christmas at an affordable price. NGSC Sports. We never stop.
You're listening to NGSC Sports Radio. Hear us live on ngscsports.com, where you can get awesome analysis for all things sport. Or check out our podcasts on iHeartRadio, Spreaker, iTunes, TuneIn, and much more. For our latest videos, head to NGSC Sports YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter at NGSC Sports and like us on Facebook. NGSC Sports. We never stop.
Three London clubs in Liverpool. Damn.
Someone's got to hold it down for the North.
The North.
Just remember, Ed, there was only one place to see Champions League football in London.
I was just about to say that. It worked. Who knew? Who knew 8 months ago that? Oh God.
Who knew?
We'll talk news and notes.
So much. There's so much stuff for us to do.
And
There's so much for us to say.
Man, I'll tell you what. That one story, I should have known today was going to be good. When I roll up to work early in the morning and I flip open my phone and the news headline that greets me is Chelsea ban upheld. Oh, I should have known it was going to be a good day.
We'll
talk about that later. That's news and notes. We'll have a watch for. And are we going to have So Raw this week? I don't know.
God, no, forget So Raw.
Yeah, not this week.
There is absolutely no storyline that Vince McMahon could ever come up with that has surpassed what we've seen in the last 48 hours.
It's very
Or in
true.
the last 28 hours. Screw 48. The last, just say the last 32 hours. There's nothing Vince McMahon could have come up with.
No. It was me. It was always me.
Hogan. This is bigger than Hogan Andre.
It was me, Messi. It was always me.
Says sweet, sweet Jurgen.
Oh,
So many. I'm so glad we live in the age of memes. So many memes have just sprung up from the last 32 hours.
Oh my God. Also, real quick, we can talk about this more later too. As easy as it is to hate on Barcelona, and we do, and it's fine. Even though we love Lionel Messi, we really love him. It's really easy to not feel bad about what happened to Barcelona against Liverpool. It felt really bad for about 5 seconds what happened to Ajax.
Yeah, at least Ajax was other than Messi, Barcelona to me aren't very likable outside of Messi.
I agree.
You think about it, they got just some real shit houses. You're talking Suarez and Vidal and God, who really likes Busquets and Piqué?
The Suarez heel turn has officially happened.
Oh my God, Suarez is gone. Speaking of Andre the Giant, Suarez has gone like 87. Andre here, he's ripped the chain off a Hulk and drawn blood and said, "I will take your championship, Hulk Hogan." And he's hired the $1 Million Man, Lionel Messi, to be his manager. This is just
Oh,
but God, Ajax are so likable.
yeah, they really are. Kudos to their fans for cheering so hard after the match too. Big ups to you guys.
Well, they knew that they'd seen something special.
Yeah.
And that, unfortunately, where and we'll talk about this more obviously even as the summer goes on. Liverpool, this team ain't going nowhere. Tottenham, it looks like most of this team ain't going nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
These are two teams that are being put together, hopefully for the long run.
Right.
For Ajax, this was this golden moment.
Yeah.
Barcelona are what they are at this point. Barcelona are kind of like a fading dynasty.
Mm-hmm.
But this Ajax was a supernova that just burned so brightly, and I mean, we already know pretty much this is over.
Yeah.
So I hope they go on and win the Dutch league, and they'll have them a nice double this year. And I mean, just an astounding run against so many odds. This astounding run to the Champions League semifinal.
I mean, beating Juventus, beating Real Madrid,
Yeah.
and having to let's not forget having to go on the road in the second leg against both of those two teams and getting the wins there. That phenomenal. We'll talk more. We need to get the show on the road. NGSC Sports, we never stop. Apparently, Liverpool and Tottenham never will. And of course, Alicia's Pillows and Things. Hey, Arsenal fans. Those crying sweet salty tears tonight, get yourself a body pillow and suck it.
It's okay, guys. You still got Europa.
Oh god, there is one dude who has replied to like every one of Arlo White's tweets over the last 48 hours. Because I don't know if you know this. You probably
Arlo's been very proficient.
He big follow. In case you don't know, listening out there, Arlo White, very professional when it comes to calling Premier League matches, and we all know he's a big, of course, Leicester City supporter from when he grew up. But when it comes to the international competitions, whether it be England, when he becomes a full England mark, or when it comes to like the Champions League and Europa League, he's gonna pull for whoever's an England team. He doesn't care at that point. He just wants to see England do well, and that's why it's always so weird when I see people reply to him when he makes a good comment about Liverpool or a good comment about Spurs, and it's like, well, you Leicester City fans aren't going to appreciate this. Fuck off. Who cares? It's the Champions League. You should pull for English teams. But there's this one Arsenal fan on here who has been just so damn salty. Like, he has replied to every single one of Arlo's tweets, and it's just like, dude, stop. Just stop, man. You're like, oh god. Anyway, that's enough of that. But if you want,
and they can't because Ed, you've got to understand right now where we sit right now. This is like a nightmare of epic proportions for so many people. Because, especially the other London clubs don't like Tottenham. And, according to what we hear, everyone hates Liverpool, apparently. So, I know, Jason, and we will get started, we promise. I have reveled on turning on the old TalkSport over the last few days. And Jason Cundy he is in a living moment of hell. Because he was so giddy last week when both Liverpool and Tottenham lost. And then after Liverpool won, he made the comment. He was like, well, Ajax can beat Liverpool, so I'm not that worried about it.
Oh.
And, the other guy, suddenly can't remember his name. I think it's Andy Brazel, who is a diehard United fan who absolutely wants nothing of this. said, well, have you thought about what would happen if it was Liverpool and Tottenham? And he just kind of said for a minute, oh, God, that would be horrible. He said, well, who would you pull for? He's like, I can't pull for anyone in that match. He's like, that would literally be my worst nightmare. And then he said, that's all right, because Ajax is going to do it. I'll turn it on this afternoon after the match, and people are just lighting his ass up.
Oh, that's great.
And he's like, I don't have any reply to you. I don't really have anything to say.
There's really nothing you can say after that.
No, I mean, all your shithousing, and all they do is turn in like the two greatest comebacks in Champions League history. So.
Oh man, I did wonder when as I was driving home, and I'm never gonna listen to TalkSport because screw that. But I did wonder because when we went to the pub God, it feels like a lifetime ago at this point. When did we go see?
It was the last time our two sides played.
Yeah, but when was it? I don't remember.
Was that March?
Maybe.
I think it was March.
Okay. So, and that happened, and as we came back to the house, because you're also going to talk Captain Marvel, I think. And you told me about the gentleman who cried talking about Tottenham. I just have to wonder where that man is tonight.
Oh.
Because, he paid so much money to go to all the away matches. I'm sure he was there.
I hope so for his sake. I hope he was. I hope he didn't miss it. This would not have been the one to miss. But, knowing that guy, he might have left at halftime, so who knows?
All right. Back to the point. If you need a pillow, please visit Alicia's Pillows and Things on Facebook. Or things. And visit NGSC Sports because they have some great deals on Alicia's Pillows and Things merchandise there. All right, let's do this.
That was the longest read ever.
God, it was. Premier League. What happened? Friday Night Football. Ben Mee scored an own goal and Seamus Coleman scored a normal goal. Everton won 2-0. Hopefully you guys just fancy a 0-0 draw this weekend, so that'd be fun. But they beat Burnley 2-0 on Friday, so that happened. West Ham beat Southampton 3-0. Marko Arnautovic with a brace there. Wolves, and we'll talk a little bit about Wolves later, but just, again, Wolves, tremendous season for them. This time a goal in the 75th minute from Leander Dendoncker, which is probably one of the greatest names in English football.
Dendoncker!
He would look... Anyway, just fantastic. Wolves, another big win. Even if it's against a relegated Fulham. Every win for Wolves this year is a big win.
Just so you know, I've bought Dendoncker before on FIFA.
Mm-hmm. He's really good.
When I manage Leeds, I bought Dendoncker.
He's great, and he's got a great name.
Yeah.
Palace and Cardiff played. I hesitate to call it entertaining in light of everything that's happened. But hey, 3-2. Palace gets the win there. Michi Batshuayi, good for you, back on the scoreboard. And Andros Townsend, who I'm sure has done his fair share of celebrating tonight as well. He scored to help Palace on their way to Cardiff, which we should mention pretty much eliminated Cardiff from being able to stay above water in the Premier League. So Cardiff will be going back down to the Championship next season, which means, of course, that Brighton will be staying up thanks to a Glenn Murray 61st minute penalty. They draw at Arsenal 1-1 because that's how this top six race works, I guess. Aubameyang with the early penalty, Murray with the penalty on the hour. Arsenal gets the 1-1 draw at home, and Wes, it's just so weird. We talked so much about Arsenal's schedule and how hard it would be towards the end here with how many road matches they would have to play in their abysmal road record this season in the Prem. And of course, they do lose at the Molineux to Wolves. They do lose to Leicester. But then with what happened to Tottenham lost on a last-minute Nathan Ake goal when they were down 9 men for the entire second half, by the way. So this is like, okay, perfect time for Arsenal to jump back in this. And at home, they draw 1-1. And it's just like, are you serious? You had the perfect opportunity to get within a point, and you draw Brighton, who had basically already secured safety because of Cardiff's loss on Saturday, and you can't beat Brighton at home. Oh my God, I don't understand.
I mean, is it the poison chalice? Is that what's doing it?
Yes, they really want to drink from it, I guess.
I mean, they're all in.
I guess they almost are completely all in. It's very, very close.
I mean, at this point, that's kind of their last rally.
Oh, I'm sorry. I understand what you mean. Yes, you are correct.
Just one of those things, and I do want to make one thing that I'm going to steal from Raj.
Go for it.
I'm going to steal from Raj. This past Saturday, the Kentucky Derby is always, promoted as the most exciting 2 minutes in sports.
Mm-hmm.
Those people obviously have never seen a Juan Foyth substitution. Damn you, Juan Foyth! What are you?
Oh man.
Oh, sweet Juan.
It was very Gerrard-esque. Very...
See, after today, there's much more levity.
Yeah,
who gives a damn?
It's fine. Well, and not only that, because with the Arsenal draw, with United giving up also a 60th minute goal to Huddersfield. They draw Huddersfield 1-1 which officially knocks them out of Champions League contention. Isaac Mbenza with the great goal there. So here's where we stand. By the way, also, Chelsea, the only team in the last couple of weeks that has actually taken care of business. They get a fairly routine 3-0 win against Watford thanks to 3 second-half goals. So they took care of business. So this is, we'll really quickly before we get to how the top two teams did, because we'll actually talk about those matches some. So we take a look at the table. So again, Brighton at the bottom of your heart, the relegation zone, of course. Brighton is now 5 points clear of Cardiff. They're good to go. They're solid. So your relegated teams will be Cardiff, Fulham, and Huddersfield. Manchester United is at 66 points. They cannot finish top 4.
They might as well be relegated at this point.
I mean, they might as well be relegated from the Europa League. Just give Wolves their spot. So it comes down to Chelsea is officially in. They haven't locked in third, but they have locked in either third or fourth. One of those two. But right now they sit third. So it comes down to Tottenham and Arsenal. Tottenham with either a win or a draw, or an Arsenal draw or loss, or a Tottenham loss and an Arsenal win that does not make up the 8-goal differential that currently exists between the two clubs, puts Tottenham into the Champions League. Doesn't matter what they do in the final against Liverpool. Tottenham go through. So that's the only scenario where Tottenham doesn't go through, which is why, hey, you know what? As somebody put on Reddit, hey, Everton, how about, we just get some popcorn out on Sunday, have a few Cokes, we have a beautiful new stadium, beautiful new TV screens, we'll throw up Netflix, we'll watch Infinity War, since it's out on Netflix now, we'll put that on the screen, we'll spend 2 hours, we'll go home 0-0. How does it sound? How does it sound, boys? I think that sounds great. So, we'll see. So Tottenham not officially in the Champions League top 4-wise yet, but they are very, 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 very close. And of course,
it would take something even more epic than what they did today to knock them out.
Shh. It also does require Arsenal beating Burnley on the road, which Burnley is already tough kind of at home, and Arsenal's away record again not very good. So again, a Tottenham win or draw and none of it even matters, or an Arsenal draw or loss and nothing matters. So that's where we stand there. So now to the top two. Let's start with Liverpool. Because they were the servers, I guess, playing earlier in the match week. And
for the first time in forever, we played before City. So.
Yes. This was the late Saturday match. This was I think a 2:30 start? 1:30?
2:45.
2:45. At St. James Park, Rafa Benitez trying to put a dent in the hopes of his former club for their title chances in the Premier League. But Virgil van Dijk came out with an early goal in the 13th minute that was somewhat surprisingly answered just a few minutes later by Christian Atsu of Newcastle. And then that was answered just a few minutes later by Mo Salah. And Liverpool took the 2-1 lead into the half. But some great team play about 10 minutes after the restart got Solomon Rondon free on goal. And he was able to put it in and make it 2-2. And then, as we all know, we all expected, no one ever doubted, it was Divock Origi who
come the hour. Come the Divock.
The start of maybe Divock Origi's best week ever.
Jesus! With the start of him never buying another meal on Merseyside for the rest of his life.
Oh, as long as it's the red side of Mercy. Wow, 86th minute goal puts Liverpool back up on top of the league for the moment, and what was essentially a must-get goal. Because if the match ends 2-2 and Liverpool only picks up a point, City with a win essentially clinches the Premier League again. It would have to be one of those things where loss, draw, make up goal differential thing. So this was, Wes, an absurdly important goal to keep their title race alive.
Oh, absolutely. for a Liverpool team that has been so mentally tough all season, and that's really, as we'll get to as we keep going in the show, I think that is the absolute hallmark of this Liverpool team. However many trophies they do or don't come home with, I mean, you have sat through seasons with me of Liverpool literally just waiting for the other shoe to drop. Knowing how amazing a time we could have and then how it would all just fall apart later. And mental toughness is the hallmark of this club. One Premier League loss this season, and it was literally by millimeters at the team that is maybe the greatest Premier League side of all time at this point.
Yeah.
You look at, we talked last week about Liverpool's propensity for picking up points late, and they do it again. The late goals that this team have scored that have put them over the top. The moments that have highlighted this race. And then, you look at Divock Origi, and we won't even get into Tuesday night quite yet. But basically, Origi has 3 Premier League goals this season. One was to beat Everton at the death. One was in just a blowout of, I think, Huddersfield, which, that was what it was. Is there Huddersfield or Brighton? It didn't matter. It was in a 5-0. And then the other one was to beat Newcastle to give us a chance on the last day of the season. And as I said, 2 more big ones came. But, that's just the mentality that's been drilled into Liverpool this year. Jurgen Klopp has taught us that we're going to play through the absolute final whistle. No matter what's going on, no matter what's happening, we're going to play through the final whistle. And this team has taken it to heart. And with a group of guys where you've got players who aren't playing as much as they want to be. You've got guys who are sitting on the bench who are used to playing. You look at the likes of Simon Mignolet, Moreno, I'm suddenly blanking on the best defender in the world.
Oh, Dejan Lovren.
I'm looking at Dejan Lovren. Guys like Joe Gomez, who started the season so good, but since coming back has found it really hard to get on the field. You've got guys who Liverpool have a bunch of players who sacrifice for the good of the club this year, for the good of the side. And they have stayed focused when the time has come. They've been ready. Guys like Divock Origi. He certainly at his age and at this point of his career, he has not played nearly as much this year as he would have wanted to. And yet he's come in at massive moments where we had to have something, and he's been there and he's done it. And that just shows the grit, that shows what this Liverpool team is made of. And Tuesday night just put that into even starker contrast. But in this match, here's Divock Origi. He's in literally only because Mohamed Salah gets concussed about 15 minutes before. That's the only reason he's in this match. Ball falls to him. He puts it in. Not only that, Virgil van Dijk is being hailed for being the one, 99 times out of 100, that's Trent putting one in from that distance, from that range, putting in the outswinger, and seeing what happens. Virgil looks at it and says, no. Shaqiri, go take this kick. We need that left-footed in swinger. We need something going toward the goal, and lo and behold, bam. There it is, right off the head of Origi, off the head of Lascelles, and into the goal. God, City need to do what they're destined to do, which is drop a damn point. Because, damn it, destiny is so there for us. I've been saying all year, I'm like, man, this is the shit that happens when you win the Premier League. And Liverpool are sitting here with the chance at 97 points. They've had all these, highlight reel moments this year of, when you look at the video in 20 years, these are the moments that championships are forged out of. The shocking win against Everton, the late own goal against Spurs, all the places where they pulled these 3 points out of their ass. But damn it, no, City's sitting right there and refusing to lose.
That is the weird thing, and it's something I was going to ask you, tied to something you mentioned earlier, because you talk about we've sat through seasons with Liverpool, and it's been waiting for the other shoe to drop, and I can't imagine what it's like to cheer for a team this close to a title who may not win the title, and there's no other shoe that actually drops. It's just,
yeah.
I mean, if the other shoe dropped, it was the loss back in January or
like January the 2nd.
Yeah,
that's our only freaking loss this year.
That was the shoe dropping was like 5 months ago, and that's got to be so weird to just.
I mean, I guess if you really want to get on it and say, yeah, we've had some draws.
Mm-hmm.
The United draw, the Everton draw,
right.
the Leicester draw. But I mean, shit happens. I mean, you draw some matches. If you score 97 points, you're supposed to win the league.
I know.
At this point, with our goal haul, we have won the Premier League every year but 2. I believe Chelsea scored 95 one year. And, of course, City with their 100 last year. Mm-hmm. And now we're freaking sitting on 97, on potentially 97 points and not win the league. It is just, it's mind-boggling. I mean, it's not even one of those where I'm pissed about it. Mm-hmm. Because, I mean, you can't be pissed at City because they just keep winning. They're doing exactly what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like they're, I don't know. It's not like it's a bunch of dodgy officiating and shit. I mean, it's just they're getting the job done.
Yeah, I
can't be mad at a team that's just getting the job done.
I think I remember from one of Arlo's tweets, I believe if City do win this weekend and win the league, it would be a 14-match win streak to end this season.
I mean, who wins their last 14?
That's crazy.
I mean, we won our last 8. We're on as good a run as you're supposed to be on to end the season. We won our last 8. Mm-hmm. But I mean, they've won 13 in a row. Jesus.
I don't know. I guess if there's any match besides the City match you could actually point to and be like, well, there's that draw at West Ham 1-1, or I don't know. Maybe drawing Arsenal early in the season 1-1 at Arsenal.
Yeah, but I mean, you're at this point picking on draws is nitpicking is so nitpicky.
I know. You can't.
I mean, it's so like you can't. I mean, once again, with the draws, 97 points. Would be if Liverpool score 97 and win the league, will be the second highest point haul in league history. Mm-hmm. And if we end up with the third highest point haul in league history and City just happened to hit the second, I mean, what can you do?
Literally nothing.
A ball that John Stones cleared millimeters off the line. That's the difference in the race. So,
well, and it's the difference in the race because on Monday Night Football on NBC Sports, City went out and did their job, nerves and all, against a very game Leicester City team. It was 0-0 for so long, and then Vincent Kompany, who this entire podcast and former show organization has been named after in a weird, ironic twist like 5 years ago, just hits an absolute rocket from about 30 yards out, and it's just like, and you talk about these moments, these championship moments that you put on the DVD, these moments that are forged in the mat, and this is just like, well, you see what happens to Liverpool on Saturday, and then you see this, and you're like, I don't know what side Destiny is actually on at this point. Like, it's almost like Destiny just said, "Fuck it, I'm out. You guys just play and see what happens. I'm done. I can't do this. Like this is absurd." So City again with, I believe this might be their 5th 1-0 win in a row. I'm gonna check that real quick because I might be talking out of my ass. It's 3 out of their last 4 were 1-0. It was 1-0 to Tottenham, 1-0 at Burnley, 1-0 against Leicester, along with a 2-0 win against United. Again, this is a 14-match win streak they're on. 13-match right now, 14 if they finish it off against Brighton. But
and about that, I mean, just so much again. When you look at the company shot, that's the first shot he's taken from outside the box since 2014.
Yep.
Has never scored from outside the box. Is not known as a goal scorer anyway. His first goal of the season. I mean, just, oh my God. I mean, it's just absolute insanity. As he's winding up for this shot, Aguero and Sterling are screaming, no, no, no. As far as City, that is like the most un-Pep Guardiola goal that you can think of.
Oh yeah.
If that had been a Pep Guardiola goal, instead of winding up and hitting a screamer, he would have slid that through 2 defenders, and Sterling would have caught it running across the goalkeeper. I mean, that's how they're supposed to score. And here in this moment where you could really see it on Monday night, there were nerves for City.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
They were really feeling the pressure, and man, give it to Leicester. Leicester came and played. Leicester did not show fear. They didn't try to sit back and just absorb. Leicester were not there for a 0-0. Leicester were there to try to win a match.
Hey, Kalichi and Acho, and what would have been a very twist of irony, former Man City player had a chance to equalize and just fucking blew it.
He did, but Vardy and company, man, the brunch was trying to get. He's so desperately trying to get his statue outside of Anfield.
He almost did it. He was very close.
How magnificent would it have been to erect the statue of Klopp standing there with arms crossed with a big smile, and then just have Brendan, like a little likeness of Brendan, kind of behind him, going, "Hello, everyone! Hello, everyone! It's Brendan.
He's just holding some envelopes.
Oh, here's me envelope." Oh, what would have been even better is if they had won it and then Brendan had walked into the City locker room carrying 3 envelopes and said, "Raheem, I told you you're in that envelope." Oh, it would have been gorgeous. But anyway, it didn't happen. That was just my little pipe dream. But
that's fine.
It was. I mean, give it to City. I can't be mad. I'm not mad at City right now. I can't be mad at City. I mean, they're doing what they've got to do. Liverpool are doing what they've got to do. City are doing what they've got to do. And I mean, you can't get mad at them for not blinking.
It's
frustrating.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But it's not anything to induce anger.
It's just 2 of what will go down as 2 of the best Premier League teams for one season of all time, battling it out to the absolute wire. And it's crazy.
And City's actually going down as maybe the best multi-season Premier League team ever.
I mean, even if they don't win it, I think you can make the argument that they are the best. I mean, if they lose, they're at 195 points over 2 seasons.
I don't think anyone's ever had. I think maybe one other squad's had back-to-back 90-point seasons in the Premier League. I don't even know if anyone's ever done back-to-back 90-point.
Let's see if I can figure it out.
And I'll let you look real quick and try to figure that out. But if City go not only the first ever 100-point season, but then back it up with a 98-point season, sweet Jesus.
Averaging 99 points over 2 seasons. Yeah, that's pretty good.
What can you do? And then to get taken to the last on that second one. I mean, it's absolute. It's insane, man. It is absolutely insane.
I am trying to find a handy table that would show me Premier League winners, because I assume it would have to be Premier League winners that would do it.
Yeah, ain't nobody
with,
throwing the 90s up back to back and losing.
Yeah. We'll see next year, I guess.
Yeah, we'll see next year.
And I'm just having trouble finding a site that will tell me who.
It's all right, because I'm just gonna go with it. No one's ever done it.
Sure, why not?
No one's ever done it. I mean, it's just what we talked about in the preseason. I think a lot of people thought, if anyone's going to challenge City, it's going to be Liverpool.
Yeah.
Okay, that's happened. Well, then you've just got to assume after 100 points. Well, after anyone wins the title, there's always some backslide.
Mm-hmm.
You never put together that kind of campaign back to back. And for City, yeah, okay, they've backslid, and they could be a whole 2 freaking points different. I mean,
all right. Well, I can tell you the last set here. Chelsea hit 93 in the 16-17 season. And the 90-point winner before that was United in 08-09. They hit 90.
Yeah. So just anyone scoring 90. I mean, 90 doesn't happen every year.
Well, just think about this. When City won the title, when they were going back and forth with United to the last day, they hit 89.
Yeah.
And
it was a huge one for them to pull 89. That was a huge season. It's insanity. It is absolute insanity that someone is not going to lift the Premier League trophy on Sunday.
Oh boy. Well,
and more than likely it's going to be us. I mean, to be all true, because I have no doubts that we can go handle our business. It's going to be a tough match against Wolves, no doubt. But I mean, I see Liverpool handling their business. It's just sure don't see Brighton beating City.
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole thing.
And
even though I do have this great idea that Brighton fans should all sell their tickets to Liverpool fans who aren't going to be in the Wolves match, and we just go basically take over and bring the Anfield, bring that Anfield theater with us.
Oh man, that would be insane.
See if we can get under. Oh God, I mean, how crazy! See, however big Brighton's field, let's say 40,000 red shirts. Oh shit! Just bang for your blood.
Oh man. Well, that is how it looks for this Sunday, Championship Sunday. Everybody plays at 10 a.m. across a variety of NBC networks. Interestingly enough, Liverpool will actually be on NBC, the main channel, with Man City being on NBC Sports. Whatever that means. Yeah. It is what it is.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say much of that. I mean, NBC Sports has been the flagship, so NBC Sports and NBC. I mean, those are the two big ones, and you've got obviously that's the biggest race right now. So
yeah, absolutely. The other matches include Leicester City Chelsea. That matters a little bit for Chelsea just to win. That would guarantee them third. Manchester United versus Cardiff. Doesn't really matter. Southampton versus Huddersfield, same. Palace, Bournemouth, same. Watford, West Ham, same. Fulham, Newcastle, same. And then, of course, Burnley, Arsenal, as well as Tottenham, Everton. Those matter because, again, Tottenham, win or draw, they go automatically to Champions League. Arsenal, draw or loss, Tottenham goes to Champions League. And then Brighton and Hove will be hosting Man City. Liverpool will be hosting Wolves. And yeah, that's a really interesting thing because Brighton is the easier of the two opponents, but you have to go to Brighton. So it's interesting. I think if both teams were home, I'd favor City very heavily. But hey.
I mean, the City are still favored very heavily.
Yes.
But, if there's any little niggle out there that we can hold on to, it's that it's on the road.
Absolutely. So that is scheduled. All matches at 10 a.m. this Sunday. And I have heard that if City wins, they will be presented with the real trophy. If Liverpool wins, they will be presented with a fake, although very identical trophy, and then will be given the real trophy a week later. So
give us our real trophy.
There you go. That's how that works.
Don't worry, we'll definitely find a reason to throw a fit with the FA. Somehow we'll blame the FA for that. So.
Of course. What's the Armenia don't have 2 real Premier League trophies?
Oh, you kiss our ass, the FA. You kiss our ass.
Oh, man. All right. It's Champions League time. Champions, these are the champions, and they're actually the champions, sort of. Oh, man. I texted you this earlier. I still can't believe it. I don't know. It happened. These are things that occurred. I did say I wanted to go on the record. Not that I thought it would happen, but I did bring up magical nights at Anfield, magical European nights at Anfield on last week's podcast. I did say.
Well, anyone who does a footy podcast as we do, you're kind of contractually obligated to say the words. A European night at Anfield Magic on a European night. It's how you have to roll because they've got so many of them. Mm-hmm. You go all the way back to playing against Inter in the mid '60s, the first time we've been in Europe. You go back to Stade Etienne in '77. Stevie G against Olympiacos in 2000 in the 2005 group stage, just to get us out of the group stage. Mm-hmm. You go back to the Magic night, where we blitzed City and we blitzed Roma a year ago. You go back to Chelsea, 2005 with the ghost goal from Luis Garcia. I mean, there are so many of those nights under the Anfield lights in Europe. And then this one comes and just blows all of those straight to hell at this point.
I'm going to set it up as best I can. For the second straight season, Barcelona throws away a Champions League knockout stage lead on the road. That is absurd. But this was a Liverpool team who just came out and wanted it more. And from the first goal by that man, Divock Origi, in the 7th minute, Barca looked shaken. And it was very, very evident that they might not have it in them this night. Now, to be fair, it went to the half still 1-0 Liverpool, 3-1 Barcelona on aggregate. And Luis Suarez nearly got the away goal in stoppage time in the first half. That would have, in all truth, effectively ended the tie probably at that point. I know what happened to Spurs today. I know. But it seems like if Liverpool could have just gotten, if Barcelona could have just gotten that one away goal right at the end of the first half, maybe that's it. But they didn't. Liverpool struck twice in the 54th and 56th minutes, just a few minutes apart from Lucas Moura's goals. Hey,
Ed.
Yeah.
You know my favorite thing about the 54th and 56th minutes?
What's that?
Those are the exact times that we struck twice on that fateful night in Istanbul.
I was waiting for you to bring that one up, and then I was like, oh, wait, I realized that wasn't actually at Anfield, and there it is. That's how it gets slipped into the conversation. So that made it 3-3, and it was all to play for, and Barcelona tried. They still had possession, but they were just completely wasteful in the final third. And then 79th minute, magic, Liverpool win it. And funny story, they talk about, I was reading some stuff about it. They talk about how you can't practice those sorts of set pieces off corners and stuff. And I read a little story about this. Somebody did some very good reporting. I believe this is in Telegraph. So during the first leg, or at least in review of the first leg match, the coaching staff of Liverpool noticed that nearly every time a foul was given against Barcelona, they would whine and complain. Even if it was super obvious, they would just whine and complain. And that's kind of what happened on this Liverpool set piece. and the coaching staff was like, hey, if you have a chance to take something quick, take it quick because they will be caught out of position. Also, whoever whatever member of the staff instructs the ball boys, the ball boys were told if a ball goes out of play to get a new one into a Liverpool player immediately, like as soon and as quickly as possible. And so when people say you can't, there's no scouting for that, there's no way to draw that up. Yeah, actually there is. Yeah, it's called doing your job and finding ways to break through. And to be fair, when you're down 3-0 going home, you have to find things like this. You have to find ways to beat one of the best teams in the world. And that's one of the ways. So that's my little interjection of story. But I will leave the rest of this to you because this is your time, my friend.
That young man's name is Oakley Cannonier. Was the young ball boy who got the ball Trent for the corner. He's being lauded on Merseyside as well today. Because, it's Liverpool, so now we've canonized the 14-year-old ball boy for his role in the goal.
Man, ball boys have had a big year this year. I remember, I think it was against Watford or Wolves when one of our ball boys was playing keep away with the players who were trying to wind down the clock. Oh, this is great. Go ahead, sorry.
Oh, my goodness. Origi scored in the 7th minute. That gave us, it's an easy one to say. I love a good cliche, but, you can't score 4 till you score 1.
Yeah.
And, Origi got us going in the 7th minute. And from there, Anfield was a cauldron, and from there it stoked the fire. And that crowd last night just absolutely lifted the squad. They sang their hearts out. They were 100% in on everything. And, here it is. You come to Liverpool a week ago at the Camp Nou. 98,000 fans there. I don't think the fans shook Liverpool at all. I think Liverpool just couldn't fucking finish anything last week. You come back to Anfield, 54,000 are louder than the 98,000. And Barcelona was shook.
Legit shook.
They, a week ago, just going back on Liverpool, very unlucky. Liverpool deserved a goal. They deserved a couple of goals. Don't get me wrong. We gave up our share, no doubt. Liverpool deserved at least one. Didn't get it. This past Tuesday night, the crowd was all up in Barcelona. Suarez and Coutinho had early chances, and Alisson stood up on them. There was a moment early in the match where Fabinho just absolutely demolished Messi, took the yellow card gladly, stood over and kind of, as you see the picture now, of course you can throw whatever context you want in it. But it was basically a look of, get ready, big boy. You're in our house tonight, and this is what it's going to be like. We're not giving you anything easy tonight. Messi was as ineffective as I've ever seen Messi. Part of that was just he couldn't get the ball.
Yeah.
Especially in the second half. Liverpool just completely denied him the ball. Andy Robertson having to come off at halftime with an injury. Kind of forced the hand to have to bring on Gini Wijnaldum. That worked out pretty well.
Yeah.
54th, 56th minute. The second one, the place went nuts. The third one, it almost exploded. And on the fourth one, it almost melted the steel of Anfield. Something we have not even mentioned thus far in this. Oh, yeah, we didn't have Salah or Firmino. Neither one of them, you're two of your big three, the guy who a year ago set the world on fire and this year still has a chance to win the Golden Boot. Didn't have either of them. Neither of them even available. No Naby Keita, who had come on so big of late. I mean, this is a Liverpool team that was, they were hanging on by chewing gum and paper clips. I mean, you're starting Divock Origi. You're starting Divock Origi and Xherdan Shaqiri. Two guys who just haven't really sniffed the field that much, especially in the second half of the season, and they just come up and they come up huge. And those last few minutes, just hearing that Anfield crowd kept pushing them and pushing them and pushing them. When we got that fourth goal, I completely lost my nervousness. My nerves were gone at that point because I was like, we've seen it tonight. They're not scoring.
Mm-hmm.
They can do what they want. Messi can try what he wants. Suarez can try his little shithouse crap. They're not scoring tonight. Allison showed why we paid £65 million for a goalkeeper. Especially denying Suarez early, denying Allison break. And it was, of all the great nights, this is the greatest European night ever at Anfield.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to overturn a Barcelona team who have the best player in the world, who are still maybe the dying embers of the greatest team in the world, but we're at this point the odds-on favorite to win this competition comfortably.
Mm-hmm.
To go in, to turn that over, to do it in front of our home fans, to do it without Keita, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Firmino, Salah, and Robertson after the half. It was absolutely incredible. It looked like Jordan Henderson. It looked like he had gotten just demolished in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
He gets up and they wanted to take him out. Basically, he couldn't feel his patella, and he said, no, "There's no way I'm coming out. Get the fuck off me. Let me back in. I'm not."
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was Liverpool wanted it more. Liverpool were willing to run the extra sprint. Were willing to go the extra mile. Were willing to, sweat the extra sweat, bleed the extra blood. And Barca just were not. They were not willing to do everything it took to win.
Mm-hmm.
Liverpool were willing to do every single thing it took to win, and they were rewarded for it on the night. And for the second consecutive season, we will play for the ultimate prize in Europe. And I think this cements what Jurgen Klopp has wanted to do with this side. This is a side that ain't going nowhere. They're going to lose a few players over the summer, but it's not let's put it that way. They're going to lose.
Mm-hmm.
There's potentially 97 points in the league, potentially a European Cup championship. And I don't think this team has peaked.
Mm-hmm.
Other than Milner, they're all under 30. All either in their prime or entering their prime. Fucking Trent Alexander-Arnold, that was maybe the smartest play you will ever see
Mm-hmm.
at this stage of the competition. Maybe the smartest, most heads-up play. He's fucking 20. He's about to play in his second European final. He's playing the World Cup. 20. We didn't pay a fucking penny for him because he came through the academy. So, I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy the team Klopp's put together. Because, yes, don't get me wrong, there has been some money. When you look at Van Dijk, you look at Alisson especially, you look at Keita, you look at Fabinho, there's been some money spent. But Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp have taken a lot of guys that other teams maybe didn't want,
mm-hmm.
or had kind of flamed out, or just hadn't lived up to what they, hadn't lived up to it. And he's built a star. He's built a powerhouse. And I think very deservingly over two legs, Liverpool deserved to come out.
Yeah.
And they get there. They got their reward on the night, and now they get a trip to Madrid.
Mm-hmm. And I believe last year was the year of Hold My Beer, I think is...
Yeah, it was.
We had a holdover. Because this season started last year, so we had one last Hold My Beer, apparently. was waiting for us this year because, and I do want to pull this up real quick. As I was going through the report on the official UEFA page, I'm going to try to pull this up very quickly because I did actually end up unfortunately losing the tab. So I'm going to try to pull this up very quickly. Matthew Howarth, who was the Liverpool reporter for UEFA.com and who was covering Liverpool in the night, wrote or had this piece from the Telegraph where the Telegraph writes, quote, "The history of this great club in European football may never be the same again. No team does this in the second leg of a Champions League semifinal without wondering if the hand of destiny is not ushering them down an alternative path to glory to the one they have chased all season." And to that I say, hold my beer.
Hold my beer.
Because there's another team. It's so weird. Gary Lineker drops a tweet at halftime of this Ajax Tottenham second leg when Ajax has gone up now on aggregate 3-0 on Tottenham, and goes, well, that's a second one for Ajax on the night. Can't think of another team that's come back from down 3-0 in the second leg of a Champions League tie. So I guess Spurs are done here. Oh, wow. It was an amazing night at the Johan Cruyff Arena in Amsterdam as Ajax took the match by the scruff of the neck. For the second straight match, Tottenham comes out flat in the first half of a Champions League semifinal. And then again in the second half, turns it all around. In the first leg, they were not rewarded with a goal. And in the second leg, they were rewarded with 3 from Lucas fucking Moura, of all people, who has come on. Harry Kane, not playing, injured. Lucas Moura has been the guy that was kind of shunted off a lot of the time when Harry Kane was playing. Comes on and just puts in an absolutely perfect performance in the second half. Lucas gets a goal in the 55th, a goal in the 59th, and then a goal in the 96th minute at 95:01. Lucas Moura scores the third to put Tottenham Hotspur into the final, 3-3 on aggregate. Second straight knockout round, they win on away goals. Which, hey, is pretty ironic when we also could have made a League Cup final on away goals if, that rule was still in this year. So that's fun to think about. But enough of that, because this night is solely about the Champions League semifinal and the amazing work that Tottenham put in to get back into this match. In some ways, the job was easier for Spurs coming into this one, being down only 1-0 after the first leg to Liverpool's 3-0, but facing down 3-0 with 45 minutes left to play seemed like an almost impossible hill to climb, especially the way Spurs looked in the first half again. But they found a way. They got the first pretty quickly, and then again 4 minutes later on a scramble in the box, Lucas gets his second. And then on a play that, hey, if you had told me this... Okay, first of all, if you had told me Tottenham was going to make it to the Champions League final on a 96th minute goal from Lucas, like 5 months ago, I would have told you were insane. And if you had told me that in addition to that, the play would have started by a perfect Musa Sissoko pass upfield that Fernando Llorente wins and taps off perfectly, I would have called you a fucking whack job, because there's no way that's happening. But Fernando Llorente, who came on in the second half, has ended up being one of the most important players to Tottenham this second half of the season, especially without Kane. He scored the goal in the aforementioned Chelsea match when they played the second leg of the League Cup semifinal. That was able to get it to penalties. He scored the eventual winner against City a round ago. He scored some big goals in the league, and now he helps set up the biggest goal in Tottenham Hotspur Champions League history. It's remarkable what this team has done with so many injuries, with so much uncertainty about the stadium throughout the entire season, with such a poor form in the Premier League leading up to this, to come out with the Spursy tag around their neck after that first 45 minutes, to put in that kind of a performance in the second half is utterly remarkable. The last thing I'll mention on this, Tottenham becomes the first team to get 1 point in their first 3 group stage matches and reach the Champions League final. I believe, and you can fact check me, of course, on this, Liverpool had 1 point in 2007-8 in their first 3 matches and made the semifinal, but did not make the final.
Right.
Okay, so that is...
Yeah, that was Chelsea not about...
Okay, so that is now the all-time record, I guess. That's a really weird record to have. But that is 1 point. Again, 1 point in their first 3 matches. Took a Chucky Lozano goal from Eindhoven to draw Milan that made it so Spurs could even get out of the group. Then they cruise by Dortmund, which nobody's going to remember because this season's been insane, and that was super easy for some reason. Hey, what do you know? A team holding on to a 3-0 lead. Crazy. Then the absolute bonkersness that was the Man City tie, the craziness that was this Ajax tie, and now you just have to wonder what they're going to do for the encore to their encore in Madrid, because that's where they're headed. And hey, the way Harry Kane sprinted during that celebration, that ankle's looking pretty good, as BT Sport pointed out on Twitter. So I don't know. This was a night to remember for all Spurs fans. The Spursy label will never be gone. They could fall in the final 1-0 or 2-1 to Liverpool, and people will call it Spursy. People will call them bottlers, and those people are assholes. To anyone that actually matters, the Spursy label might have actually died tonight. And of anything that comes away this season, if we can assume that Tottenham takes care of business and more insanity doesn't happen this weekend, we are looking at a Tottenham team that's going to finish top 4. It was penalties away from a League Cup final and has made it now to the Champions League final. And they didn't sign a goddamn person in the last 2 transfer periods.
Literally the last person you signed was Lucas Moura.
Exactly. Thank you, Mr. Emery, for sending him away from PSG. That was really appreciative.
Don't you want to throw out your little thing, Lucas Moura?
What? My what?
What I sent you earlier.
Oh, yeah, I got to pull that up. Sorry.
Since you said I'm going to use that.
Yeah, absolutely. That was, as Wes sent me earlier, don't forget Lucas Moura is a PSG reject who they have sold to make space for Neymar to come in and win the Champions League.
In the words of Bobby Roode, how glorious.
I couldn't happen to a better club. Wes, this is... The funny thing is, we watched the first half. I say we like we watched this together or something. We collectively as a human race, we watched the first half and we think, okay, well, we had our exciting match yesterday. Ajax are up 3-0. This is done. This is how it works. You have the exciting match and then you have the not so exciting match to follow it. To see 2 matches like this in the Champions League semifinal, we may never see anything like this again. I'm so amazed by this. This is...
I mean, Barcelona blowing big leads in the second leg, that's kind of becoming common.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, just to see them back-to-back like this. Oh, my goodness. Ed, how can anyone deny the existence of a higher being?
Yeah.
After the last 2 days, if you're a Liverpool or Spurs fan, how can anyone how can anyone deny that there's something upstairs going on?
Apparently.
However you want to believe, whether Salah
Yeah.
or, whoever. Wow. Just an incredible 2 days of football, an incredible 2 days of football for fans of the Premier League, of England fans, of obviously those two fan bases, both of which suffer greatly in different ways. Liverpool obviously have the history, but now Liverpool almost have the weight of history on top of them, which can be as crushing as anything. Spurs, as you say, and something I happened to see today that Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher were talking about before Spurs and Man City played. Gary Neville, he was sounded jerkish because Gary Neville's just a jerk and makes everything sound jerkish. But,
Sure.
He said Tottenham, when he was playing at United, he said, we knew Tottenham was always good. He said, but you knew you could just, you put them under any pressure and Tottenham would fold. Mm-hmm. He was like, it was easy. We knew exactly what we had to do to go beat Tottenham just because they were soft and you could get in their head and they were just, they were mentally weak. And then he goes on to say, that's not Tottenham anymore.
Yeah.
He said, and that's not Tottenham anymore. This is a new age. They've got the best manager they've had since the 1960s. Mm-hmm. Since they were the pomp of English football for a while. They've got an elite manager. And I think we've seen, and it's come to the forefront, there are people who will argue this point till the cows come home. This day and age, in the way that the money is in football and the resources that some have that others don't, I don't think you can base everything on a trophy anymore.
Yeah, I very, very much agree with that.
It used to be so easy. Well, do you have any trophies, mate? And hey, as a Liverpool guy, you know what? We probably coined the damn phrase. Where's your trophies? We got trophies. It is so much different now where you've got a Man City who can just outspend everyone and are so well run. Where, there are basically 4 trophies a year up for grabs. Mm-hmm. And City, up until about a month ago, had a grab of all 4 of them. Yeah. And still might come out with 3 of them. And it's so hard to compete with that. And then when the one that's open to you, fucking Europe. I mean, come on, man. Yeah. For Tottenham having basically... let's say it really. Liverpool and Tottenham have about half the resources of City. Mm-hmm. Oh, and let's also throw this out there. Liverpool and Tottenham are being investigated.
Yeah.
We kind of both have that going for us. Yeah. Raise your hand if you're playing in a European final and you're not being investigated. Even in Europa, you guys can put your hands down.
Yeah.
Chelsea, put your hands down, which we'll get. Pochettino and Klopp are absolutely elite level managers. Mm-hmm. Because when you look at what they have worked with and the circumstances they both came into, they've taken their teams to places where, it looked like Liverpool were so far away from getting back there. It looked like Tottenham were never going to get there. Mm-hmm. And here they are. And here they are. The best thing that's happened to was United for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Just because, and also for Zidane going back to Real, because that took that distraction off the table. That took that question out of the press conference. That took that thought out of the mind of the supporters and of the players and of the manager, and they were able to concentrate on football. Has it been easy? Absolutely not. Mm-hmm. Tottenham are basically having to wrap guys in bubble wrap at this point of the season. just to be able to field a quality enough team to put out on the field, and to go out and to take down the Golden Boys of Europe, to do it at their place and to do it in 45 minutes when everyone had counted you out is an amazing achievement. And both of these squads have just put up amazing achievements.
Yeah, I've been saying this for a couple years now, especially as it relates, because it always felt like it was very acute to Poch. Klopp, I think, hadn't been here as long yet, but it was just like when Tottenham finished a few points behind Chelsea in the Premier League about 3 years ago in their best point total ever, and it's like, and everybody called them bottlers, even though no one else really fought Chelsea for the title, and it would have taken a damn miracle, or like something we're seeing this year, for Spurs to have actually really contended for it. And that's not enough. And it's like, people keep thinking that you have to win trophies. You don't have to win trophies. Is it great to win trophies? Of course it's great to win trophies. That's why you play. You play to win games, and you play to win trophies. And I understand that. But at a certain point, like you said, there's scarcity. And there's a lot of damn good teams. Like, you can't just say, well, you didn't win a trophy. Like, oh, sorry, Klopp, you didn't win a trophy this year. You only got 97 points and reached the Champions League final. But you didn't win a trophy, so I guess you're a failure. Like, hey, Pochettino, I know you basically didn't have a home for 2/3 of the year, and we didn't make you any new signings, but you finished fourth, and you made a League Cup semifinal, and you made the Champions League final, but you didn't win any trophies, so you're a piece of shit. Like, I'm sorry? Tottenham is just supposed to win 4 trophies a year now? Is that what the requirement is? Liverpool's just supposed to win 4 trophies a year? Like because City just has the resources where they can fight on 4 fronts and make these runs, every other club has to do the same thing? Like, come on. I get it. Banter, and that's what we do in football. It's fine. Okay, whatever. But if we were just being reasonable for one damn second, we'd understand that what we're seeing are 2 fantastic clubs who have had fantastic seasons. Win, lose, or draw in the final. Well, they can't draw, obviously. These 2 clubs, as well as City, as for much shit as we've given City as well, these 3 clubs from the Premier League have put together amazing seasons. Just absolutely phenomenal seasons. And whatever you want to say about them, whatever happens on Sunday, and whatever happens on June 1st, these are 3 seasons of teams that deserve to go down in the history books of some of the greatest of all time. And if you think otherwise, just because they don't bring home a trophy, you can go fuck yourself.
My favorite Arlo White tweet of the day. But remember, Spurs haven't won the Carabao Cup.
Yep, I saw that. See, I love how Arlo gets it. He just gets it, man. Like, oh god.
Another one he pointed out there. Just remember, sole representative in the Champions League quarterfinals.
Yeah,
and that's not a shot.
No,
that's not a shot at Leicester by any means.
No.
That's just showing how far they have come. Both these teams.
Well, not even both these teams. I think it's how far English football has come. I mean, to an extent. I mean, 3 years ago, 2-3 years ago, there was talk. Even though I never thought it was very serious and was always kind of more clickbaity, but there was talk of, oh God, is England gonna lose their 4th team? Or is their coefficient gonna drop enough? Oh no! The English football is just so bad compared to Spain and Germany and these. It's like 2 clubs were basically carrying you guys. So shut up. This is we saw it a little bit last year with Tottenham making it through, with City and Liverpool playing a round of 8 match against each other. I want to say there was a 4th club made it through. Did United make it through last year?
Yes. Remember, United like to.
Yes.
That's when they like to crash out.
So we had 4 English clubs make it last year. Actually, did 5. Wait, did Chelsea make it too?
Yeah, because remember, United got in from.
That's right.
United were actually in from winning the Europa.
So five English teams there. All 4 made it this year into the knockout stage. 3 of them, no, 4. All 4 made the round of 8. Half of the round of 8 was English teams. 3 of them made the semifinals. When 2 of them had to play each other, or sorry, 2 of them played each other in round of 8. So 2 made the semifinals, and now those 2 are meeting each other in the finals for an all English final, first since Chelsea United in whenever. Yeah. So I think what we're seeing is, and I think sort of what Arlo's tweet is also getting to is, I think we're seeing a resurgence of English football on the European stage. And it's because I think it's the way England is playing seems to be so much better. Yeah, Spurs kind of play that second half a little bit of footing it forward with the big man in the middle and Llorente and blah, blah, blah. But that's not super how Spurs are going to play a lot of the time. These are Liverpool, City, and Spurs. And to an extent, when United was going well this year, United too, these were dynamic, attacking teams. They're not just going to physically beat you anymore. They can still do that, but now they have pace. Now City can play that pass happy attack.
Well, and it was always the English teams always had pace, but they weren't technical enough to break anyone down. They were great on the counterattack, always great on the counterattack. But now you've seen where, and it's been the management. I mean, it's been it's been Klopp coming in and, and really it started with Brendan. As much as we might want to admit it, might not want to admit it, it started with Rod, technically for Liverpool. Pochettino completely changed Spurs. And then, Pep has obviously kicked City into next gear when it comes to the way they play. But something that Poch and Klopp have done, and I'll give it to Pep too, it's just, Pep, I mean, hell, the only teams that cannot Pep out of the Champions League are other English teams. Yeah. But I think especially Poch and Klopp have tapped into, they've taken that pace and power and they've given that technical ability, but they have tapped into that hard-nosed English spirit. Where, it is one of those, whistle because, as the song says that we sing from the terraces, ole, 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 it says we're never going to stop. And that's just how you feel about these 2 teams. And that's what you saw the last 2 nights are 2 teams saying we're never going to stop. Spurs didn't stop until that last whistle. Liverpool didn't stop until that last whistle. Where I think mentally they just beat those other 2 into the ground. Yeah. And at the end of the day, their mentality what won it out. I mean, obviously great players doing great things, but their mentality, the English spirit, that never say die attitude, that we're never out of a fight until we're dead. I mean, it's, as we say, they looked in the face of the God and said, not today.
The last thing I'll say to kind of wrap up the Champions League talk, we talked about both teams dealing with injury issues and the way not only did other people have to step up for both Liverpool and Tottenham to get through, but it was like, it wasn't even the other people you'd expect. Like when Kane went down, it was like, oh, Sonny's here. We're good. He's scoring a bajillion goals. We're fine. And who actually scores the hat trick for Tottenham in the semifinals to put them forward? It's Lucas Moura. Liverpool. We got Sadio Mane. He's been great all year. He's been maybe our best player all year. We're fine.
Oh, Mane. Well, we weren't fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then who scores the goals? Steve Origi.
And Gini Vidal.
It's insane how that has worked.
Oh yeah. The unsung heroes, the I mean, that's a little tongue in cheek, but at the same time, it's like, holy shit, man. I mean, what else can this guy do?
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's never going to be that 25 goal a season scorer. You know, that's not him. But damn it, you know, he's found his spot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Lucas Moura has found his spot. Sonny found his spot. And all those guys, as we've kind of alluded to, when it was their time,
mm-hmm.
they were ready. They were ready to grab it by the neck and make it their own. And it's absolutely amazing, man, for both Liverpool and Tottenham here like this season with the injuries piling up. You know, by the way, we didn't get no Christmas break.
Yeah.
You know, there won't no winter break in England this year, as there hasn't ever been. There won't no break.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there won't no, for either of them, there was no huge January additions.
Mm-hmm.
It was just, you know what, we've got these guys, we're going to war with them, and, you know, here we go. Here we go, let's do our best. And
absolutely.
And, you know, I think Klopp put it beautifully in his pre-match press conference, where he said one of two things is going to happen. Either we're going to, let me paraphrase him, either we're going to win,
mm-hmm.
or we're going to go out and we're going to lose, and it's going to be beautiful. You know, but we're showing up. We're showing up 100% to play. We're not coming just to tuck our tail and make up the numbers. You know, right. you're gonna have to knock us out.
Right.
And that's where both of them are sitting right now, and just gorgeous. Well, my last number I want to throw in for Klopp because you know I'm loving my numbers this week.
Go for it.
3 seasons now, Jurgen Klopp has led Liverpool into European play.
Mm-hmm.
And they have played 10 knockout ties.
Mm-hmm.
10 for 10 in the knockouts.
But he's never won a trophy with Liverpool, so he's a failure, obviously.
Exactly. Horrible modeler. You know, I mean, never had player didn't get, you know, fucking MMA snapped last year.
Yeah.
Didn't have a keeper who apparently was drunk.
Yeah.
Can't come up with anything else. We know he was drunk. You know, year before, you know, Origi was leading the way until that fucking Funes Mori decided to, you know, demolish his ankle late in the so, you know, it's always been something, but man, I mean, here we go. And hey, you know what, Ed?
What?
At the end of the day, somebody ain't gonna be a bottler no more.
Yeah.
Obviously, someone will be a bottler. But hey, someone won't be. So
yeah, there you go.
At least we can take someone off the list, right?
Oh my god. Can't wait to see Spurs lose 2-1 and be called bottlers.
Oh man, all you Chelsea fans, you Arsenal fans, you Manchester fans. Oh god.
Go suck
especially especially the Chelsea fans, this is demolishing them because they hate Liverpool and they hate Tottenham.
Yeah.
You know, at least some of the other ones will be like, you know, I mean, you know the United fans are going to be pulling.
Mm.
You know, you assume the City fans are going to pull for Tottenham. You assume the Arsenal fans are going to pull for Liverpool.
Mm.
Chelsea especially just has, like, this is the biggest no-win for them at this point. Because they despise us both.
Well, speaking of Chelsea, they will be in Europa League action coming up here.
That's right.
The second leg of their semifinal against Eintracht Frankfurt. The first leg ended 1-1 in Frankfurt. Pedro, the goal scorer for Chelsea in the 45th minute, answering a Luka Jovic goal for Frankfurt in the 23rd minute. So Chelsea will have the away goal as they head back to Stamford Bridge in what could be Eden Hazard's swan song. Anyway.
Before he forces his way out of town.
There you go. On the other side, Arsenal beat Valencia 3-1. See, it's not all bad, Arsenal fans. Lacazette and Aubameyang contributing for Arsenal. Valencia did get the first goal thanks to Mokhtar Diakby. So they will see if they can transfer their away goal into Magic as they head home to Valencia for the match as well. So those matches will be played on Thursday. The Europa League final will be on May 29th, which I'm sure is a Wednesday because that's usually when it is.
If June the 1st is on a Saturday, the 31st is Friday, the 30th is
Wednesday.
Thursday. Yeah, Wednesday. Because, you couldn't just do it on Thursday.
No.
Europa night in America. Europa night in America. Oh, we're going to do it on a Wednesday.
Yeah, of course. Let's get crazy for the final.
I don't personally understand why they just don't do it the weekend before, but okay.
Yeah, that's weird. And hey, while Tottenham and Liverpool will be heading to beautiful Madrid, where notably, I guess, Tottenham will be the home team for record purposes, which means Tottenham will be wearing white and Liverpool will be wearing red, which is probably what would have happened if it was the other way around too. So it doesn't really matter.
No. You think about with the Ajax red, we were already that we're going to be wearing.
No. I meant if Liverpool was the home team and Spurs were the away team.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I saw somebody said Liverpool was 45 minutes away from having to wear purple in the Champions League final.
Yeah. So we would have looked regal and resplendent in it, but still, we'd rather wear our reds. You get it's always nice to get 2 home jerseys going.
There you go. And that, of course, will be in Madrid, but the Europa League final will be in beautiful Baku in Azerbaijan. One of those.
Fuck? Azerbaijan is a real country. I always thought we were just making fun of it.
No. It is very real. Let's head to the news and notes as we're.
Is it near Yugoslavia and Sri Lanka?
Yeah, it's somewhere in between the two, I think. Actually,
no, they're all the same, right?
They're all countries. I mean, what's different about them, really? That's a joke for no one. We have quick stories. Manchester City has won something. They have overtaken Manchester United as the Premier League's most valuable club. That is according to a study of all places by the University of Liverpool Center for Sports Business Group. They have valued City at £2.364 billion. It's always tough to tell what that first thing is. And United's is at £2.8087 billion. So about a £300 million difference there. The rest of the top 4, according to this evaluation, or top 6, I should say, somewhat surprisingly, Tottenham are third at just about 1.8 billion. Liverpool behind them at 1.6, as Chelsea also has an almost equal amount, and then Arsenal are at 1.36 billion. The study took into account revenue, profits, non-recurring costs, average profits on player sales over a 3-year period. Thank you, Philip Coutinho. Net assists, wage control, and proportion of seats sold. So, an interesting little alternative table when we normally see Manchester United, obviously the biggest club in the world in terms of revenue and blah 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 blah. So, whatever stock you want to put into that is.
I will quote Andy Robertson in his post-game interview when asked about Suarez getting the better of him by physically taking him out of the match. Andy Rob looked at the presenter and said, "Who's going to the final?" So, hey, Manchester, who's going to the final?
Oh, man.
We're never gonna stop. That's the new theme of the show. We're gonna stop.
Unfortunately, Chelsea's gonna have to stop signing players. That is, it looks like, for a little bit. That transfer ban we've been talking about for a while. Chelsea appealed with FIFA, and for once, the appeal stuck. Chelsea will not be able to sign players this summer or in the winter of January 2020 either. This was, of course, following an investigation into their signing of foreign under-18 players. Chelsea will be taking this to the Court of Arbitration for Sport, but this is not great for them. They will be able to recall players on loan, but they won't be able to sign, I believe it's Higuain and Kovacic, on permanent deals because of this. So that's not great for them if they can't work that out. Of course, this is also with talk of Sarri potentially going back to Roma potentially this summer. And Wes, I just have to figure, if you're Chelsea and you're probably going to lose Eden Hazard and you can't sign anybody, although again you have about 80 people out on loan that you can bring back in. I mean, this job just doesn't seem very attractive right now.
No, that said, sorry ain't going nowhere.
Okay.
I think they'd be at this point. I think it'd be ludicrous to get sorry.
Oh no, I haven't. I heard that story in he'll be fired, but he's just like, all right, I'm out, guys. Thanks.
Yeah, I don't think he's going anywhere. I think he likes getting paid.
That's fair.
But I totally agree. It's a very unattractive, other than the fact that it is a big Premier League club. You would have Champions League football next year, but you are hamstrung. You would come in hamstrung immediately. You would not be able to shape a team at all. You'd have to come in and work with only what you have. The purse strings are being tightened at Chelsea. There is, there's talk out there that, potentially Roman Abramovich could be looking to sell due to his issues he's having with the English government, especially the British government. It is very much in flux right now. Let's put this. Somebody kind of throw this today. I would much, much, much rather be in the position of City, Liverpool, and Tottenham than Chelsea, Arsenal, United right now.
Let me ask you this. Of those other three then, of Chelsea, Arsenal, and United, which is the most desirable position then right now?
Money-wise, it would be United.
Uh-huh.
Obviously, you can go to United, you'll have money to spend. God, is it just disgusting to say that out of those three right now, the most stable is Arsenal?
It might be.
At least, we always, I really think Unai Emery's caught kind of the old season. We always said it was going to take him a little while to get this turned around. I think they've done better than they're just kind of falling apart here late, but
everybody.
If I had to put money on one of those three, making a run the next few years, it would definitely be Arsenal. So,
yeah, no, I agree.
None of them are really designed.
And even though I don't think Arsenal's like a super great club right now, like they have a lot of good pieces, but I think they have some definite weaknesses. You at least have a potential. Now, Stan Kroenke's still there, but you do have a possibility of maybe bringing in better pieces. Kind of like you said with United, but I think Arsenal's also in a better position right now than United is. So I don't know. That's very odd. But
the problem is United still have all these issues. United need to do so many things in the front office.
Right.
Including, God, that United team needs nearly a complete overhaul. And you're looking at losing potentially Pogba in the summer. Potentially Lukaku wants out. Does anyone really believe Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to last the entire season next year?
No.
United are going to go out and spend money. That's the thing about them. We know they're going to spend money because that's all they do is spend money. They've been highly linked with Paulo Dybala. Here's Dybala who, couldn't coexist in the Juventus locker room with Ronaldo. Now you want to bring him in here. That's another one kind of, I don't know, man. United's just such a train wreck right now. It's a really unbalanced squad. They need major surgery at the back. There's a chance De Gea could leave. Just so many issues at United.
Yeah. And it'd be great if they had like a director of sport or something, but
Make it Rio.
Dude, they showed him his reaction to Spurs' third goal. He was super duper excited. That man was pumped. So that was good to see.
Did you see Steve Nash's reaction to the third goal?
I have not seen Steve Nash's reaction, actually.
He basically just sprints off the set.
Holy shit. Let me actually see if I can find that real quick before we get to our. I can bring up our fourth story almost from memory now. So the Premier League Manager of the Year vote is out. The 4 finalists are, to me, exactly who I thought they would be when I heard there were 4 finalists. They will be Pep Guardiola, Klopp, Poch, and Nuno Espirito Santo, the manager of Wolves. And I think, Wes, in their own ways, every one of these managers deserves the award this year, to varying degrees, depending on, is it solely on what you did in the Premier League versus what you did for your team the entire season. I think they can kind of rise and fall based on that. But I think if it was just Premier League, I would probably vote Pep, Klopp, Santo, and Poch fourth if I had to rank those. And the only reason I would put Pep above Klopp is because, yes, they have tons of money. Yes, they should be winning the league with what they have. But I think a huge thing is we haven't seen a team repeat in the Premier League in quite a while. And not only that, but to have your team set a record 100 points and to be in this sort of a dogfight for the title and be able to keep the foot, because City could have very easily just said, well, fuck it. We scored 100. We had 100 points last year. We're the Centurions. We won the title last year. What the fuck do we care about winning the title again this year? You know, that mentality could have seeped in. And I don't know for a fact because I'm not in the locker room, but I believe a large part of the reason that didn't seep in and the reason they have been able to keep pace with Liverpool is because of Pep. So at this moment, I would put Pep like half a point above Klopp. And then again, with what Santo has done with Wolves is absolutely remarkable. They did spend money, but hey, Fulham proves spending money doesn't guarantee shit. They bought a lot of really good players, and that team is really, really well coached and is really, really good. So that's my order and why I would order that, again, solely based on Premier League play. If there was other factors involved, like Champions League, I might switch it around a little bit, but that's, I think, how I would order the 4.
You know, I got to let my little homerism.
Of course.
I would give my vote to Klopp, literally because he's all but reeled in the Centurions. You know, he's had to go against a team that scored 100 last year and is probably going to put 98 on the board this year. Now, I'll put it this way. I think if Liverpool find a way to win the title, I'd give it to Klopp. I mean, just like, you know, we brought you expected the gap to be closed because City was going to come back to the pack some. That has not happened.
No,
they have not come back to the. Liverpool literally had to break away from the pack and sprint them down. Absolutely. And to that's where I would give Klopp my love, especially if they end up winning the title. For Poch, I have no problem with Poch's name being in this pot. I would find it hard to give it to Poch, especially just the way. And yes, I mean, obviously injuries have been huge and the depth has been huge with the issue. But I find it hard to, you know, kind of give when you're almost actively trying not to finish in the top 4.
I would say I would completely agree with you. I think he deserves to be in the top 4, especially given no signings and what he's done with this club, again, to get through the injuries and to build up enough of a cushion that this late season collapse doesn't actually fully keep them out of the top 4. I think that's great. I know Chelsea and Arsenal and United have played a large role in that as well. But I do think that I think he's very well deserved to be in the top 4. But again, I would also put him 4th out of these 4. But I think it's well deserved for his name to be in this conversation.
Right. Yeah. Like I said, definitely have.
Yeah.
Just I can't really bring it to put him up there. Nuno, I mean, man, you say what you want. Yeah, a lot of people predict Wolves season, but you know what? That means delivered.
Yeah.
Where they had back, and they had a lot of expectations coming from people, and it would have been much easier to wilt under some of those expectations. It could have been very easy for them to do it. They made a really nice run. They are, as of right now, I believe they're in because City already winning the. Didn't City win in the League Cup? Go ahead and give 7th place into Europa.
No, that gave 6th.
That gave 6th. Okay, but if City go ahead and win the FA Cup, which most assume they probably will, then that gives it to 7th. So, and I believe they've locked up 7th. Am I right?
I think it's really close if they haven't already. I will look it up real quick. I think maybe even with maybe it'll take a draw actually to do it. Let me see here. They are 4 points up on Everton. So they are locked into 7th no matter what happens.
Right. So I mean, and Watford stunned City. They're going to Europe next year, which Poison Chalice Thursday nights be what it is. I think for Wolves that's a really nice step in the progression of what they want to do. Because it's a club that they have ambitions of breaking into that top 4. And as we know, it's not getting any easier. Even though, there seems to be an opening into that Big 6 right now.
Yeah.
Where someone could easily push it to be a Big 7. So, yeah, I mean, Wolves have done a great job and a magnificent job. So,
all right. Well, that'll be I believe that's an online vote. So who fucking knows who's gonna win this? But it'll be what it be. So I think you have 4. Unlike some of the awards we talked about last week, I think we have 4 very well deserved names on this ballot. And as Poch, as much as I love you, and I swear to God, watching you cry today was one of the best things I've ever seen in my life. And I mean that in a good way. As long as it's not Poch, I have no problem with any of the other 3 winning this award. And even if it's Poch, then I can just wave my middle fingers in the air at everybody.
Yeah, sure.
So I win it. I win anyway.
You can make an argument for him. I mean, that's the thing. There's an argument to be made.
Yeah. I definitely think there is, but I think that there's 4 very, very good coaches on this list. So no real wrong answer there. So that'll do it for news and notes. Let's do a quick watch for Wes. What you watching in the week that was or the week that will be?
Oh, I want to watch the Champions League.
Of course.
God, what have I watched? Oh, I worked all damn weekend.
Hey, I can maybe help you out. How has the introducing one of our 2 biggest fans to the rest of the Marvel Cinematic Universe going?
Say that again. You kind of broke up on me.
Sorry. How has the process of exposing one of our 2 biggest fans to the Marvel Cinematic Universe going?
Oh, we've got through 2 so far.
Okay.
We did Captain America. Next, we're going Captain Marvel.
Okay.
I said, since last week, haven't been able to make any moves on that, unfortunately, due to time constraints. So many things going on, but yeah, we're definitely excited about that here in the old household. Nice. I am slowly trying to work my way through Justified. I'm in season 5. As I keep pointing out, that show is definitely, it's one of my top 10s. It's a top 10 show for me. It's so damn good. Nice. Marvel has released movie dates for the next 8 movies. Disney actually did. They didn't say what movie it would be.
Oh, okay.
They didn't say actually which ones. But real quick, we're looking at May 1st, 2020.
Okay.
November 6th, 2020. Which means only 2 movies in 2020. A lot are assuming it would be the Black. Mm-hmm. and I can't remember the other one. In 2020, February 12th, May 7th, and November 5th.
Mm-hmm.
And then in 2022, February, May, and July.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Maybe Black Widow and Doctor Strange 2 in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
So, and maybe Guardians 3 in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then whatever else gets made. So,
yeah.
But that's something just to keep your eye on, old Gil.
Hey, and of course there was a new Spider-Man Far From Home trailer that, again, if you have not seen Endgame, don't watch it. But if you have seen it, do watch it, because it has one of the best lines ever in a trailer for a Marvel movie, which is, "Bitch, you've been to space."
Exactly.
Oh, that was Samuel L. Jackson's just so great.
He's Samuel.
That's true. He is. So, and I'm just catching up on Brooklyn Nine-Nine as always, because that show is
dude. I haven't watched Nine-Nine in like, I'm gonna have to binge.
Oh well, just don't. I think there's only. I think there's only.
Getting to the end of the season.
Yeah, I think there's 2 episodes left.
Oh, okay.
Let's see.
Well, at this point, maybe I'll just hang out.
So there's 3 episodes left, but it's only 2 weeks. So there's an episode tomorrow, and there's a double next week for the season finale. So
they'll do an hour finale.
Yep.
That's cool. And none of the whole team are behind on that.
Mm-hmm.
Everything. Just because A, I haven't had much time, and B, I've been watching Justified.
You know, you say how much you like Justified, and I'm curious. Did you ever watch Deadwood?
No, never saw Deadwood.
I feel like you'd like Deadwood.
Well, you know, when people say that they feel like I like something, I'm always... Because that's actually how I watched Justified.
Uh-huh.
Was I just had, like, when the fourth person's like, "Oh, you would love Justified," I was like, all right, gotta do it. Gotta check it out.
Let me preface this by saying I've never seen Deadwood, but I know a decent amount about it, and it also has Timothy Olyphant, so there's that. But I feel like it would be something up your alley, being like an American Western. It just is a bit of an older American Western. So
right, it's actually like more old way.
Yeah. So maybe something to start binging once you finish the Justifieds.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's news and notes for now. Again, no So Rob, because hey, we had our storylines already for this week. So that'll do it for episode 261 of the Foreign Affair podcast. Big thanks always to NGSC Sports as well as Alicia's Pillows and Things. You can find them on the social media as well as us. On Twitter as a collective, we are at AFA Pod. Wes, you are?
I'm at West Bradshaw 21.
You're going to get a lot of Champions League memes coming at you guys if you follow that account for a little bit.
Loving them.
You can follow me at Edward Green. Of course, you can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube via our parent show, The All New Sports Show, as well as emailing us, allnewsportshow@gmail.com. Big thanks to all our podcast providers, including Podbean.com, Stitcher, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, the TuneIn Radio app, Google Play Music, and the iTunes Music Store. We'll be back next week for episode 262. We'll see what happens. It's Championship Sunday. By the way, the championship playoff also starts this weekend. Forgot to totally mention that, but that's happening. We'll talk about that next week too, because the semifinals will have taken place completely by the time we reconvene here. So we'll have that, and I'm sure some news and notes, and the countdown to the end game on June 1 has begun.
Oh, folks, I sent it to Ed earlier.
Yeah,
we're in the end game now.
We are. This is how are we to know?
This is the Foreign Affair podcast, and we are in the end game.
Oh my God! Don't worry. The podcast isn't actually ending. Don't worry.
I don't know. We'll see how big a fight we get into.
I was thinking about that. Like when you were like, so I guess we have a date on June 1st, and I'm like, I'm not gonna fight Wes because we're too good of friends to do that at this point. But
yeah, we are.
God, I might fucking punch somebody at that pub. Like, somebody's gonna say something really stupid.
I'm not gonna lie, I really won't blame you. Because, here's the thing. It's like, because I like going.
Mm-hmm.
I like going. And kind of the group of regulars who are there,
mm-hmm.
They get it.
Mm-hmm.
But then, especially when you bring in those big matches
mm-hmm.
where the place starts filling up, you get like the little obnoxious ones that just show up like twice a year,
mm-hmm.
and they want to talk shit.
Yeah.
It's like, look, dude, we're not here to talk shit to each other, man. We're here to all, enjoy it. And, hey, yeah, we hope Liverpool will get the win.
Mm-hmm.
But, we're not here to talk shit to our guests.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's
a
like...
little needling is one thing, some banter.
Mm-hmm.
Some banter's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But don't turn around and, give up double birds. Oh, fuck you.
Well, and it's just like, I still remember when we went to that Spurs Liverpool match a couple months ago, and the guy right beside us is like, yeah, this Harry Kane guy, all he can do is shoot. He's so bad at everything else. I'm like, dude, what? Like, I'm fine, dude. It's a Liverpool bar. Cheer for your team. That's awesome. Get excited. I'm not going to be mad, but like, dude, at least be intelligent when you speak. Like, exactly. Which is why it was so fun to watch Harry Kane put in an inch-perfect cross for their one goal in that one. That was just, that was the best. But that's why I'm just like, somebody's going to say something really stupid. I'm just going to be like, really?
Well, really? Of course, we've been to them in the past where our teams were playing. Mm-hmm. And, at least we don't have to.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's funny.
You're just like literally the worst people on earth.
Well, and it's funny too because I remember it wasn't even just the Liverpool fans. I remember last year's Liverpool Spurs match we went to, and I remember there was like those Spurs fans that were sitting right in front of us, and I remember it was the first Harry Kane penalty, the one he missed, and they were like going fucking nuts, and I'm like, guys, he hasn't fucking scored yet. Please settle down, like. Just calm the fuck. And of course, then he missed it. I'm just like, please calm down, guys. Just.
It is nice not to have to deal with just over.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'll tell you now, last week in the first leg, oh my god, there was a group of extremely obnoxious Barcelona fans who made their way there. Oh
god.
Oh Lord. Wow, it was all you could do a few times. Just. You always love the ones who want to talk extra loud so everybody has to hear them.
Mm-hmm.
Those are just your favorite ones.
Well, that's the thing. Like, too, if I go, like, I get it. I'm not a Liverpool. I'll celebrate a little bit if Spurs score, but absolutely. I'm not talking shit to people. Like, I'm like unprovoked. I'm just gonna be like, I'm just gonna sit here. Wes and I are gonna make our little jokes that we like to do during the match. When we're not vomiting in the corner, and the rest of the time I'm just going to be like, I'm not going to bother anybody because I don't care.
Right.
I know where I am. I'm not stupid, but don't be an asshole, and I'm not going to be an asshole to you. So I'm just like, the Champions League final crowd. I'm just like, somebody's going to be an asshole.
Go to a pub.
Yeah.
Man, it's...
Here's what we should just do. We should be like, look, guys,
just so happens, here we are.
Guys at London Bridge, how about this? If you guys have access to your roof, if you guys could throw a TV up there and just like occasionally bring drinks and food up to us and a TV, we'll just hang out up here. We'll do our podcast for the week from up here. We'll give you guys a ton of free pub on the pod. So,
we'll give pub for the pub.
Exactly, pub for the pub. We love the London Bridge pub. So,
we do, especially since it's a fantastic renovation. Fantastic menu.
There you go. Oh, it's a great menu. I loved it last time we went. That thing was delicious.
London Bridge.
So, hey, you guys just set us a little private suite for podcasters, and, we're good. Totally good.
Oh, me.
Give us a glass floor so we can look down and see everybody cheering. We just don't have to interact with them.
Oh, that'd be glorious.
I ask for so little. Just do this one for me.
Oh, it would be so glorious.
Oh, well, this podcast has been glorious, and we will continue on to Championship Sunday, even though it feels like Championship Tuesday and Wednesday already happened. But, Wes, before we get out of here, now after we just went through that whole preamble, is there anything else you'd like to add?
Jesus, is there really anything to add?
I don't know.
We hope you guys have an extra long edition this week. You know, we used to ramble a lot, and then we got into a nice tight hour and a half to hour 45.
Yeah.
And today, we just demolished it today. But y'all know we had so much to talk about.
Yeah, I was like, what could we talk about on the podcast tonight?
We were so excited.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's been a trip. And hey, I've seen your Facebook posts. Good job, Be Good. Great job, dude.
Oh, Be Good is hitting over 300 this year, leading the Angels.
Good job, man.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So there you go. There's a nice little addendum. So that's a nice little golf clap for you, Be Good.
Yeah.
For McCall Crime, Wes Bradshaw, I am Edward Green. Thank you so much for joining us here on episode 261 of the Foreign Affair podcast. And until next time, you Spurs and you Liverpools, stay safe, because I don't really know what to call you guys like Spurs. Stay safe and enjoy the football.
And good night, Amsterdam, and good night, Barcelona. Just look in the mirror and try to decide what the hell happened.
God, I don't know. I think, of course, this is now all going to get cut, but I don't care because we're about to run out of time. But I think what happened to Ajax is a little bit what happened to us last year against Juventus. I think they're just really young, and when Spurs actually punched back, they just kind of collapsed. Not in like a super immediate way, but I think they started to feel the pressure. And I think maybe even being at home kind of hurt them a little bit to have all the fans like because just like City probably felt the tension on Monday against Leicester. Once it got to 3-2, the tension at the arena there must have been just insanely huge. So I think that's what happened to them. I hate it for them, and I would love to say, hey, I can't wait to see where this Ajax team goes from here, but we know where they're going. They're going to Barcelona, so.
Yeah. They're going to spread themselves among the other leagues.
It sucks, because even more than this, like, Monaco team from a couple years ago, like, this team was exciting. I'm sorry, go ahead. What were you going to say?
No, I think somebody said, I don't think it was Earl. I think it almost might have been Surrey. Mm-hmm. Made the point. He said when Ajax went off at halftime, they had looks on their faces like job done.
Yeah.
Hey, we got our two.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't come close. They haven't touched us. Job done. We got this. It was almost like they just lost their edge.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that's so what I think happened to Barcelona, or a huge part of Barcelona, is Barcelona thought that bad boy was done.
2 straight years that's happened to them.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you would think they'd be ready, but
yeah,
I think they thought it was done and dusted. Another group that kind of got caught in that look, and dude, of all people on BT Sport, Arsene Wenger made the comment of, I think Barcelona's going to win this, but Anfield is not the place that you want to go and not be switched on.
Yeah. He
said, when it comes to the European game, there is no more hated place to have to go play than it. And you've got to be ready for literally anything. I think Barcelona went there. I think a couple of guys on that team understood what they were into, but there was just nothing they could do about it.
Yeah.
They walked into the damn cauldron. Nothing they could do about it. And they couldn't get their level up. And we came out ready to go. We came out, we were pressing them, we were balls to the wall. We were flying around, we were doing everything.
This show is sponsored by Alicia's Pillows and Things. Check out the Facebook page, Alicia's Pillows and Things, where you will find home decor you will not be able to resist at prices anybody can afford. Check out the pillows and stools of your favorite sports teams. Maybe you want a set of your kid's favorite cartoon or movie character. You can also get full body and neck pillows as well. Log on to ngscsports.com and go to the Alicia's Pillows and Things tab on the homepage to complete your order. It makes a great gift for Christmas at an affordable price. NGSC Sports. We never stop.
You're listening to NGSC Sports Radio. Hear us live on NGSCsports.com, where you can get awesome analysis for all things sport. Or check out our podcasts on iHeartRadio, Spreaker, iTunes, TuneIn, and much more. For our latest videos, head to NGSC Sports YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter at NGSC Sports and like us on Facebook. NGSC Sports. We never stop.